Hello, hi everyone. So this is a lecture series on coordination compounds. This is part 10. Today in this lecture we are going to see constitutional isomerism or structural isomerism. So by the end of this lecture we will finish different types of structural isomers as coordination isomerism, linkage isomerism, ionization isomerism, ligand isomerism we could able to understand. Before starting the lecture, let us have a recap of what isomerism is. The phenomena of isomerism arises when two compounds have same empirical formula but differ in their physical and chemical properties. If the physical properties and chemical properties of compounds is differed but their empirical formula is same, then the phenomena of isomerism arises. So, in that we have already evidenced optical isomerism and geometrical isomerism. We are now going to see constitutional isomerism or structural isomerism. So, what is this structural or constitutional isomerism? If two compounds are having same molecular formula but differ in order of arrangement of atoms, or if there is a difference in only the constitution, or constitution means where the kind of arrangement, if they differ in, they are referred as structural isomers. All the atoms present in two compounds will be same, but what they differ in is that the constitutional arrangement or the structural arrangement is different, then it is referred as structural isomers. And these two structural isomers usually will have different physical and chemical properties. Today we are going to see linkage isomerism, one of the constitutional or structural isomerism, that is linkage isomerism, ionization isomerism, coordination isomerism, ligand isomerism. These are the four different types of structural isomers that are given in our syllabus. Though different types of other isomerism, other structural isomerisms are also possible, we are not going to discuss that here. So, structural isomerism with four different types here. One is ionization, another one is linkage, another one is coordination isomerism, and the next one is ligand isomerism. Now, let us see this ionization isomerism. In the case of ionization isomerism, if two compounds are having same empirical formula, but on dissolving in suitable solvent or aqueous medium, ions produced are different, then the two compounds are called ionization isomers. If the counter ions are a potential ligands in a complex, if counter ions are potential ligands or they can also act as ligands, this kind of isomerism arises. As in this case, have a look at this compound, which is pentaamine sulfato cobalt 3 bromide, and its ionization isomer can be written as, by exchanging bromine with the SO4, you can, so SO4 becomes that sulfate ion becomes as counter ion, bromide will become as water ligand. So your bromide is potentially a ligand, or it may act as water ligand. So as such, you can write that as a CO NH3 taken 5 times BrSO4, that is pentamine bromido cobalt 3 sulfate. Both are what? Ionization isomers, that they yield different ions on dissolving in water, or in aqueous medium they produce different ions. Truly speaking, the first one will yield bromide ions and the second one will yield sulfate ions along with complex ions. So both are having same empirical formula, but on dissolving, one will give positive test for bromide ions and another complex will give positive test for what? Sulfate ions. So first one chemical property is different from the second one's chemical properties. One is usually violet in color and the other one is red violet in color. So go for dissolving that one in water, it furnishes different ions. So first one is red in color and gives what ions? Sulfate ions in solution. And the second one is what? Violet red in color and gives bromide ions, and here it is bromide ions. So bromide ions in solution. Okay. So just to represent that CO, where in the first one bromide is ligand and in the second case what? Bromide is a counter ion. In the first case, sulfate is counter ions, and in the second case, sulfate is acting as a ligand. SO4 minus 2, sulfate is acting as what? A ligand. So your SO4 can act as a ligand. So as this is a potentially what acting as a ligand, so it can exhibit what? A ionization isomerism. So just to show that the chemical properties of both the compounds are different, that one is furnishing sulfate ions and other one is furnishing bromide ions. So one will test in presence of beryllium chloride. So you test the solution 1 of sulfate solution. If you test the first one, if you test in water, it produces sulfate ions. So whether it is producing sulfate ions or bromide ions, you can simply test by treating with beryllium chloride. If you treat with beryllium chloride, it produces what? Barium chloride. Barium chloride, it produces a barium sulfate, a white precipitate it produces. Whereas your bromide ions, when treated with silver nitrate, it produces yellow precipitate. It produces a yellow precipitate. So that's how the first complex, you can write chemically also, you can write that, represent that equation. First complex having aqueous solution with sulfate ions on reacting with Ba plus 2 from barium chloride produces what? Barium sulfate white precipitate it produces. Whereas the same solution, if you treat with silver nitrate, no precipitate is formed. And the second compound solution, when treated with barium chloride, it will not produce any precipitate, but when you treat with silver nitrate, it produces a slightly yellow precipitate of AgBr, very dim yellow precipitate you will get of a silver bromide. Okay, so that's how, though empirically both are having same constituent atoms, what are that? Cobalt, amine, sulfide, bromine is there, sulfate is there. Empirically both are having same chemical formula, but on dissolving in water, they produce what? Different kind of ions, where we have taken aqueous solution here. So on dissolving in water, it produces a different kind of ions. As they are producing different kind of ions, we call that one as what? Ionization isomerism. This is not linkage, this is a ionization isomerism. Okay, so that's your ionization isomerism in this case. And one more also you can take as a, see, instead of sulfate you go for replacing that one with simply Cl. CONH3 taken 5 times Cl Br, where it is pentamine chlorido cobalt 3 bromide, and other one is its isomer is what? Pentamine bromido cobalt 3 chloride. So both are what isomers? Ionization isomers. So now it is pretty easy to understand that simply chlorine once is acting as counter ions and once it is acting as a ligand. Bromine in the first case is acting as what? Bromine is acting as a, bromide is acting as a counter ions, and in the second case bromide is acting as a ligand. So that's how this produces, the first one produces in aqueous solution Br minus ions it produces, and the second one produces Cl minus ions. So both will give different tests with silver nitrate. The first one will give an yellow precipitate and the second one will give you a white precipitate. That chloride ions with silver nitrate will be precipitated as a white AgCl ions, and bromide ions with silver nitrate will precipitate as a slightly yellow AgBr precipitate. So thus how ions furnished in aqueous medium are completely different. As such, we call these compounds as a ionization isomers. Okay, so that's what is ionization isomers. And now let us see few more examples in the case of ionization isomers with the same hexa-coordinate platinum where 4 ligands are amine and 2 are chlorine, with counter ions being bromide. 2 bromides are there. So it is a tetraamine dichlorido platinum 4 bromide, versus its isomer, ionization isomer. You can simply write by exchanging chlorides with bromides, because your bromide and chloride both are potentially ligands. They can act as ligands. So similarly, you can write 3 ionization isomers for COEN taken twice NO2Cl by simply NO2Cl with SCN. This can be where you can see 3 different negatively charged ligands here, NO2 minus, Cl minus, and SCN, that is acting as a counter ion in this case. So you have a look at SCN minus. This SCN also would act as what? Your ligand. So that's how 3 isomers are possible. Simply now in the square brackets we have written NO2 and Cl. Now replace one Cl, take Cl outside and bring SCN inside. In the third case, what you will do? Bring Cl inside and take NO2 outside. Okay, bring Cl inside and NO2 outside. It results in another isomer. So all the 3 will furnish different ions. So in the first case it produces thiocyanate ions, and in the second case it produces chloride ions. In the third case it produces a nitrite ion along with the complex ions. Thus you have different kind of ionization isomers. In aqueous solution they produce different ions. That you should keep it in mind. Linkage isomerism. This isomerism arises because of ambidentate ligands. This ambidentate ligands can ligate from the available atoms with a lone pair of electrons. So when more than one ligating site is possible within a ligand, this kind of linkage isomerism arises. Linkage isomers differ in the atom of a ligand bonded to the metal in the complex. Which atom is bonded to the metal atom will give you linkage isomers. So example, in the case of ambidentate ligands like thiocyanate or thiocyanato N, nitrito O, nitrito N, we can say. So in nitrito O, oxygen is the ligating atom with the metal. In nitrito N, nitrogen is the donor atom or ligating atom with the metal. So as such, we have 2 different atoms. One is oxygen, another one is nitrogen in ambidentate ligand. So as in the case of ambidentate ligands, you have 2 different atoms which are capable of ligating. Because of this ligand, isomerism arises, and that isomerism is called as a linkage isomerism, where which atom, whether it is oxygen or nitrogen, that is bonded to the central metal atom, will yield linkage isomers. So these are the most possible cases of ligands, that is thiocyanate N and thiocyanate S. So SCN, where sulfur is what? Ligating atom. NCS, nitrogen, is the ligating atom. So from that we can quote 1 or 2 examples like this. So in this case, pentaamine nitrito N cobalt 3 ion, So here 3 indicates what? Oxidation state, not the charge. So NO2 minus cobalt plus 3, total charge is plus 2. So pentaamine nitrito N cobalt 3 ion, and you can write that one NO2 as ONO when oxygen is ligating atom. In the first case, nitrogen is the ligating site, so we need to write that one as pentaamine nitrito N cobalt 3 ion is a linkage isomer for pentaamine nitrito O cobalt 3 ion. So where in the first case nitrogen is the ligating site, in the second case oxygen is the ligating site. So from the same ligand. So it is actually ligands having what? Two different ligating sites are possible. As such, we call that one as a ambidentate ligands. It can ligate from both directions, maybe from nitrogen, maybe from oxygen. So as such, results in an isomerism that is called as a linkage isomerism. Okay, so that's what ambidentate ligands means and linkage isomers are. Third one is coordination isomerism. So the coordination isomerism arises when there is a complex cation and complex anion. Both complex anion and complex cation are present. So there is, if your counter ions are also a complex, okay, whatever counter ions that we are writing as Cl, Br minus like that, instead of that you can even choose to write what? One of the complex anion or one of the complex cation you can write. So based on the charge on the complex ion. So if both parts, counter ion part and complex ion part, both are what? Complex ions, then what happens? This kind of coordination isomerism is possible, wherein here the distribution of ligands between the two metal ions is simply different. Distribution of ligands between the two metal ions will be simply different. So one good example here we are looking at is cobalt plus 3 is ligated to 6 amines. In the first case, have a look at your cobalt plus 3 is ligated with 6 amines, and it results in CONH3 taken 6 times plus 3, CONH3 taken 6 times plus 3, and to balance that plus 3 charge, we will write minus 3 complex ion. Minus 3 complex ion is what? CrCN6 minus 3 ion. CrCN6 minus 3. So have a look at this. To be frank, if you go for representing, it is actually minus 3 you can write as, and this is actually what? Plus 3 you can write as, plus what you can write that as? Plus 3 you are supposed to write, plus 3. So one is a plus 3 complex and the one is minus 3 complex. If you write both, it results in what? It results in what? A coordination isomer it can produce. So it results in a complex with a cation being complex ion and anion is also complex ion. Now you interchange these ligands. Simply go for interchanging the ligands. Instead of CO you write Cr, instead of Cr you write CO. Just shift the ligands to different metal ions. It results in what? Cr. See, Cr, earlier it is cobalt plus 3 with 6 amines, now it is chromium with 6 amine ligands, cobalt with 6 cyanides. So simply you go for what? Writing the charge with over here you can write, and this becomes as what? Minus 3. This becomes as a minus 3. So that becomes as a minus 3. So that's how it is. So we usually omit writing. In normal representation, we don't write the plus 3, minus 3, plus 3, minus 3, all that we don't write. We simply go for representing the whole complex. So what you can write is, instead of all that, we write the complex as a like that. So that it itself is indicating that both are what? Coordination isomers. Here one thing is that your complex cation and complex anion are involved. Yeah, this is there is no counter ions. Instead of this one, you usually write what, instead of writing this, we usually write what, Cl3. Cl3 we will write as, isn't that? That Cl3 we will write. We are not writing as Cl3. Instead, the counter ions are also what, your complex cation, complex cation and complex anion, complex anion. Okay, so that's how we represent. This is how we represent. That's a complex cation and complex anion, complex cation and complex anion. So these two are so this one is an isomer of what, this one. And what kind of isomer it is? It is a coordination isomer, because only distribution of ligands between the chromium and cobalt has differed here. What is differed here? Distribution of amine and cyanide ligands between what and what, cobalt and chromium, has simply changed. Here amine is with cobalt and here amines are with chromium. Here cyanides are with chromium, here cyanides are with cobalt. So as such, the isomerism is called coordination isomerism. And so with such difference only in distribution of ligands with the different metal ions, and change in ligands also. Have a look at this, increase the number of ligands or decrease the number of ligands. You just see that where cobalt with 5 amines and 1 cyanide, 5 amines and 1 cyanide will result in the complex as CO with a plus 3 charge. So as such, this will be a +2 complex, and here you are supposed to write a -2 complex. How to write a -2 complex? Chromium +3 charge, amine, cyanides are 5, so -5 plus 3 will render -2 charge. So that's how. Now you interchange the ligands. So interchange the ligands with this one, you completely go with chromium, and these ligands you go with the cobalt. It results in isomers, which are what? Coordination isomers. And keep that in mind. One that is yellow in color is one complex, and one that is one compound, and one that is white in color. The whole thing, this whole thing is what? One compound only. And this whole thing is one compound. Okay, this is complex cation, complex anion, complex cation, complex anion. So that's how this is one compound and this is one compound, and these two compounds are what? Isomers. These two compounds are coordination isomers, because they differ only in the distribution of ligands between cobalt and chromium. So as such, it is what? Coordination isomerism. Okay, so then let us move on to the next type of isomerism. So let us see the illustration of that. So that is our first complex with cobalt having 6 amines and chromium surrounded by 6 cyanides. One is +3 charge and the one is -3 in charge, and its isomer, the bottom picture is indicating its isomer, where we have simply shifted water. Ligands are shifted to chromium now, and amine ligands are shifted to chromium now, and cyanide ligands are shifted to what? Cobalt. So as usual, we have a practice of writing plus charge first and minus. So plus complex has to be written first, and then minus complex has to be written in depicting the formula. So that's how you can write what? Coordination isomers. And next one, ligand isomerism. In ligand isomerism, the ligands itself are isomers of each other. If ligands itself are isomers of each other, then what is possible? Ligand isomerism is possible. Like for example, if I say this is propane, this is a propane. In propane, this substitute with amines, and first carbon 1 amine, second carbon you are having another amine, then it is resulting in 1,2-diaminopropane, 1,2-diaminopropane. And in this propane, you substitute 1 and 3 carbons, and first carbon and third carbon you substitute with amine here, amine and amine. And we know nitrogen having a lone pair of electrons, nitrogen having lone pair of electrons would act as what? Ligating site. So this is one ligating site and this is another ligating site. So it's a bidentate ligand. And here also you are having a bidentate ligand with the 2 nitrogens being here in the form of amines. So it is 1,3-diaminopropane and 1,2-diaminopropane. Both are having same empirical formulas, but they differ in what? They are structural isomers of each other. So this 1,2-diaminopropane is written as a PN in short form, and 1,3-diaminopropane is written as a diaminopropane 1 and 3, so it is Tn, it is written as 1 and 3 is Tn and 1 and 2 is a Pn, it is written as. So Pn is 1,2 diaminopropane, Tn is 1,3 diaminopropane. If these ligands are present, in your coordination complex, the isomerism is referred as what? Ligand isomers. In one case you represent with Pn instead of ligands, you write that one as, in place of ligands you write Pn, and in place of ligands if you write with Tn, they result in what? Ligand isomers. So it simply results by what? Ligand isomerism arises from the presence of what? Ligands, which itself are isomers to each other. If ligands themselves are isomers to each other, then it results in what? Ligand isomerism, as in the case of COPN taken twice, Cl2 plus. So your Pn is what? 1,2-diaminopropane. Okay, so its name would be bis 1,2-diaminopropane dichlorido cobalt 3 complex ion. Okay, na? First one is bis diamino 1,2-diamino propane dichlorido cobalt 3 complex ion, and this one is what? Is an isomer, is a ligand isomer of what? Bis 1,2,1,3 diamino dichlorido cobalt 3 complex ion. So these two are what isomers? Your ligand isomers. So these are the different types of structural isomers that we have seen today, and at the end of this chapter, coordination compounds, you should able to answer certain questions. So most usually commonly asked questions are on isomerism. From isomerism you definitely get 2 4 marks questions you will get. One is structural isomers, another one is geometrical isomers and optical isomers. These two questions you usually come across from isomerism. So prepare that one and keep updating yourself. With that, we have concluded coordination compounds part chapter 1 of semester 3. Okay, hope you keep following the lectures and practice them. Thank you.